What's up, gang? We're on a couple minutes early. Who do we got on here? Michael Mazza, Hall of Highlights. What's happening, guys? I'm trying to make it Financiano. It's good to have you on, bud. It's not 1, 2, 3. Yes, monster 3-team blockbuster trades all involving the Yankees, dude. I can't wait. I'm looking for. I love your 3-team trades. I gave you a shout out the other day in a video talking about how you inspired me to do my own 3-team trade. So I appreciate that, man. Thank you. AB's in the house. Yo, what's up? Who else we got here? Let's do a little rolling. All right, we got a couple here. Jason Long, what's happening, dude? What's going on, bro? Everybody's good. And we're on a couple minutes early, so we'll let people kind of filter in for the next little while. But, man, there's a lot of stuff going on, man. There really is a lot of stuff going on. Like, tomorrow is the first. Oh, Jared Miller's here. Who else we have? Aaron Cedillo. What's happening, man? Davy's in the house. What's going on? Luden, there he is. Now it's a party, baby. I got my Giancarlo Stanton T-shirt on tonight, so I'm repping the Yankees as always. Hirsch is in the house. What's happening, man? What is happening? Trade number 1 involves the Marlins, Athletics, and the Yankees. I love it. Marcel, there he is. What's happening, man? Lori, hello. Inside the strike zone. What's up? What's going on, everybody? Mike's in the house, too. Mike Doral, what's happening, man? Happy to have you all on here, man. As always, my people. So there's a lot of stuff. I mean, tomorrow's the first negotiation since December 7th between the players, union and the owners and the commissioner and stuff. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do. They're going to have a virtual or like a video call, a Zoom or whatever. And the MLB is supposed to put forth its first of a couple of different proposals. So, hopefully it'll be last as longer than the last time. But when they met December 7th, it was an 8-minute meeting. So that was not encouraging. So hopefully we got something to look forward to tomorrow. And I'm obviously going to put out a video on whatever happens in this meeting. You'll know about it. So you'll definitely know. So I'm looking forward to that. 22 minutes. I'll take 22, Lori, over 8. I'll tell you that. So, but I'm really curious to see. As long as it's some kind of progress, I'd be happy. Jason, all good, man. All good. How you doing, man? How you doing? I got my Yankees cup. It's my water. And the greatest snack ever. Drake's Funny Bones. Chocolate with the peanut butter. I mean, oh my God. God. Gotta get something. Get some fuel, man. Even though I ate dinner like 3 hours ago. Oh, so good. Jared, man, they're phenomenal. Them yodels, oh, baby. Tyler Talbot, there he is. What's happening, man? Tyler, I shouted you and Michael Mazza out the other day for inspiring me to do the 3-team trades. So Mike's about to put forth a couple here. So the first one's with the A's, the Marlins, and the Yankees. And let's see what we've got here. Group of losers being led by a group of losers to get somewhere themselves. No, you're not crazy, man. You're not crazy. It's just, you're not crazy at all. Lorenzo, what's happening, man? I like your trade proposal with San Diego, right? I thought I responded. If I didn't, my apologies. I like it. And I wanted to talk about that tonight too, because people are proposing Manny Machado to New York, and I want to know what you folks think. But we got Michael Mazza's first trade here. Miami gets Domingo Germán and Luis Medina, pitching prospect Trey Sweeney, Yoendris Gomez. New York gets Pedro Pineda, Zach Geloff, and Sean Manaea, Oakland. What does Oakland get? So far, so good, man. So far, so good, man. So what else? What else is in that trade? Dude, no doubt about it, man. You've been a supporter, man. You're part of the mafia, Tyler, man. So it's a pleasure, and I like to give credit where it's due, man. So I appreciate all everything that you do for the mafia here, man, for the channel. So Daily Dose is in the house. What's happening, bud? Nelly's here too. What's up? I love it. I love how the groups just keeps growing and growing and growing. David Travis is here. What's happening, man? I'm not sure if they're going to get a deal done tomorrow, but I mean, if they do, that would be freaking awesome. But if they make a decent amount of progress, I'd be happy. Lorenzo, if you don't mind, put your trade out here in the comments so that other people can take a look on it too, at it as well, so that we can get some feedback from the rest of the gang. So, but I thought it was pretty solid. Mazza, Oakland gets Voit, Gleyber Torres, Urshela, Oswald, Peraza, Clark Schmidt. Yankees get Jazz Chisholm, Edward Cabrera, Miami, Andy Alcantara, Matt Olson, Sean Murphy, Matt. Oh my God. Damn, Mazza, that's a beast. You come up with the most monstrous trades. That's pretty baller. Let me think about that for a minute, because we got another one here. Inside the strike zone. Oh, where did it go? Gallo, Urendris Gomez for Manny Machado. I was thinking about this today. So Manny Machado has 7 years and $210 million left on his 10-year, $300 million deal. So, I was going to put out a video, Manny Machado versus Carlos Correa. Like, Carlos Correa obviously is going to be a free agent. He's going to get a boatload of money. You're going to have to give up, international spending money as well as a high draft pick. So, and if they're going to eventually move him to third base to make room for Volpe, then they're going to have to get rid of Gio. Here in a situation, if you get Machado, maybe you can move Gio over to San Diego in a trade, so it becomes a swap of a position instead of putting somebody out of a position, and it still leaves room for other things. Like if you have Manny at third and you have Oswald Peraza can go right in the shortstop. If Gio and what if Gio and Gleyber Torres and let's say Aroldis Chapman, because San Diego needs a closer, is part of this trade. So you get Chapman, Gio, and Torres over to San Diego, with San Diego assuming that contract of Chapman and the Yankees assuming Manny Machado in return. Is that a type of trade you guys would consider? And again, DJ would replace Torres at second, and we'd have shortstop Oswald Peraza, and you have Machado at third already, right there, starting where he is already in San Diego. And then when Volpe's ready, we can make Oswald Peraza or we can move him over to second, actually, and make DJ the super utility guy if we wanted to do that. So it gives us flexibility. And we'd have two young, cheap guys in there with some pretty expensive guys surrounding them, especially if they get a Matt Olson for first base. Rogers in the house. What's happening? If a deal is done, what is the Yankees' first move? I think it's going to be in Matt Olson, some kind of trade with Oakland. I think that's what I think that's what it's going to be. And I hope that's what it is as well. Man, Maz, you come with some beast trades, man. I got to read that a couple more times so I can really digest it. But I like it. I like big trades like this. So I really do. Hall, man, go get some rest, dude. It's all good, man. It's good to have you. Even if it's a little while, it's good to have you, bud. Trade everyone for Tatis Jr. Yeah, Mike, I hear that, man. I really do. So, all Mafia shot off it. That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea, Hall. Ohio, what's happening, Roger? Ohio's in the house. I hope we can get the deal done better in the spring. I hope so too, because at the end, the sentiment is that there's going to be a delay in spring training, which can cause a delay in the season, but I hope it does not. I mean, I would rather delay the season than spring training, because that ramp up period is important. And the last time they delayed spring training was during COVID, and players got hurt with that shortened season. So, with that shortened windup. So I would rather, cut into the season a little bit than have a cut of spring training. That's my personal belief. Just from coming from an athletic and a physiology and exercise science background, I think it's a better idea. Trade last night, not even giving a top prospect besides Voit. Put it out here too, Jason. I remember I don't have it in front of me. I'm on my laptop right now, so I don't. But put your trade out here, and you and Lorenzo, put your trades out so everybody can see them. I want to make sure your trades get the proper, the proper consideration, the proper love, man. I'll be looking at every winning World Series lineup from the last 12 years and circling guys who have either coached since or are comfortable coaching. How long would that be? Looking at every winning World Series lineup from the last 12 years and circling guys who have either coached since or are comfortable coaching here. How long would that list be? That's a good question, Ludin. It's a very good question. Mazza, keep bringing it, baby. Keep bringing it. It's a really good question, Ludin. I got to think about that. So the players, I mean, so they want that first threshold level from 210 to 245. Okay. They want a quicker path to free agency instead of 3 pre-arb and 3 arb. Those are a couple things that they want. And some, a bigger minimum salary for players that make the major leagues, which I can get behind that as well. Those are some of the main things. And then, the owners want some different things. They want an expanded playoffs. They want a lower threshold level. I mean, they want to go, I think it's to 215 and then a path from 215 to 220, whereas the union want a path from 245 to 260. And that's just a lower threshold level. So I know they're negotiating about universal DH and revenue sharing and a bunch of other things. Personally, universal DH would be a good thing because there's a lot of players who are, kind of getting an advanced age and become more one-dimensional. And if they start to lose their ability to move, well in the field, you can plug them over at the DH spot and not lose their bat. It also essentially creates 15 new position player jobs. And the fact is, pitchers collectively batted 110 this past year, and it's been that way for quite a while. Adding the DH in the National League would definitely give another offensive boost to 15 more teams immediately. So I know it's thing to see some pitchers not hit, like Jacob deGrom was a really good hitter, and like Scherzer and guys like that. But it would still be better, more exciting to have a DH in the National League personally. And plus, you get some guys who can continue to make good money. And that's something that the Players Union wants. So, we got Lorenzo. Yankees received Machado, Austin Nola catcher, and one of their starting pitchers for Torres and whoever needs to go. Yeah, I would add Gio to that deal. I would add a prospect, and I would see if they can take a Aroldis Chapman because they do need bullpen help. I mean, I would throw maybe another young arm in there as well if they could take Chapman. Freeman to the Yankees. I could see that happening. I mean, it's not my first pick only because of his age, but I could see him aging well. I can see it aging well. Maz is a beast, man. Maz is a beast. He's a legend, man. He's an absolute legend. All you guys are, man. All you guys that are here right now, absolute legends, man. I'm telling you, love you guys. Drunk in the streets, me too, man. Big boy, Gio and Glaber could go with yeah, exactly. I mean, Gio, Glaber, and Chapman would be a perfect swap for Manny Machado, like in my opinion, because they could easily be replaced. I mean, Gio swapped out by Chapman, Torres moved by or replaced by DJ, and then you have Chapman filling out an important bullpen role. They have a boatload of starting pitching, but they need relief help. And I think at this point, to change the scenery, Chapman might be good. Less pressure environment over in San Diego than it is in the Bronx. So trade 2 between the Reds, the A's, and the Yankees. Looking for I want to see him ask, what do we got, baby? Good drunk though. That's right, man. Oh man, this thing's scrolling fast. Let me sign Bryant for cheap. You can't. I mean, Bryant's going to cost. He might cost as much. He's going to cost close to the amount of a Freddie Freeman, I think. And he's also 2 years younger than Freeman. So, and he's a multiple. He's won an MVP. He's got so he's got some things as well that make him just as valuable. But that 2 years younger is helpful in his his cause. Got an idea of Judges and accept an extension. Give it to us, Tyler. Give us that idea, man. Love the ideas, bro. Francisco, I think that would be a great trader. Shell and Chapman to the Padres for bringing. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a doable trade, to be honest. Sal's in the house, too. How do I feel about I think, well, DJ's going to be healthier. He got his surgery, which kind of hampered him this past year. And I think he'll be, on the way back to being his normal self, close to 300 hit. I don't expect him to hit 360 again or whatever, but close to 300 hitter, consistent defense and good solid contact hitting. I'd sign up for that. Machado, he just wants to get the money. I mean, partly, Davey. I mean, Machado, I think, would do well. He wouldn't have to be the guy here. He got in Tatis's face for kind of, slacking later in the season, so it showed his fire, and I kind of respected that. I mean, so, but he's consistent, he's durable, and that's why he has an advantage over Carlos Correa, in my opinion. and even though them being the same age. So, yeah, Gallo can be moved, but I think he's going to wind up getting more opportunities. Aaron's in the house. Sorry to see you go, man. Gallo, I think he's going to wind up getting some reps in center field this year with the Yankees, and with Judge and Stanton playing the corner outfield and some DH, and especially if they sign somebody like Seiya Suzuki, then you can easily move Gallo to center and then have like an Estevan Florial if he doesn't get traded as the fourth outfielder or backup at the very least. So lockout extended to. I hope not, Francisco. I really, really hope not. I don't think. I think there's an appetite to end it sooner because they lost over a couple billion in revenue on the COVID year, and I don't think they want to do that again. It would be devastating to the game. All right, Cincinnati gets Domingo Germán, Luke Voigt, Luis Medina, Clark Schmidt, Trey Sweeney, and Austin Wells. Goodness. New York, it's Pedro Pineda, Zach Geloff, Oakland. What else in that trade, Michael? I think I'm only seeing part of it. Which players were thinking? I think to win a winning first mentality, we need those types of players. I mean, we have some already, but we still, we need a bulldog pitcher. I think the Matt Olson trade would be a good trade. He's a fiery player, and he's a good, solid player. He's a cornerstone player. I think a Brian Reynolds type would be a good guy here as well. Those guys seem to me are winner type players, but Volpe I think is going to be special. So whatever you do, not blocking Volpe's path is important too. But I like those types of players. And the fact that Machado's not slacking ever since he's got his money, and he's still putting up big numbers and playing elite baseball. That shows me something too, because some players don't do that after they get their big money. You get Olsen for first base and Story for short and get a good center fielder. Yeah, David, that would be a solid offseason too. I really think they need at least one more starting pitcher. 2 would be preferred, but I don't think they're going to do 2. Swisher was awesome here, man. I loved Swisher. Odor helped with that too. Guys like Luis Sessa underrated, but he kept guys loose too. But Swisher was a perfect fit here for that team, man. Absolutely perfect. And guys like Raul Ibanez is just quiet gamers. That's what Stanton is too. He's a quiet gamer, and he's a leader, and he stands up for his teammates. And obviously we know when he's on, he's unstoppable. So, and we need some of those loud leaders and quiet leaders, I think, in my opinion. So, and when the Yankees were at their best, they had those guys. What if we got Simmons, but then got Bryant for third base? I feel like that would be cheaper than Correa. Oh, it'll definitely be cheaper than Correa. But what are we going to do with Gio at that? What would we do with Gio? Sal, it's not my money, but the Yankees want to be cheap. You got to think cheap a little. Of course, absolutely. Absolutely. Mazza has some blockbusters, man. Oh, that's the same one. I need to see the rest of that trade, Mazza. He comes up with some monster trades, man. I love the big-time 3-team trades, man. I really do. So keep them coming, man. And Tyler, I still want to see your idea. Trey Sweeney, Jason Dominguez, Anthony Volpe, and Gallo, and Chapman to Padres for Tatis Jr. I don't think Tatis will ever be not say ever. Not anytime soon be moved by San Diego. And I wouldn't move Volpe under any circumstances right now. So he's kind of on a Tatis type path. So, but the other guys, if they would take Sweeney, Dominguez, Gallo, and Chapman for Tatis. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Might cost a little bit more. You'd have to add probably Luis Medina too. Reynolds in center field. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Roger, I'm telling you. I think the Padres would move Machado before they move Tatis. I think they would burn the freaking stadium down if they moved Tatis. All right, Oakland gets Glaber, Gio, Oswald, Rangers Gomez, New York. Joey Votto, Tyler Stevenson. New York gets Joey Votto and Tyler Stevenson. Cincinnati and New York, it's Castillo and Amir Garrett. Cincinnati gets Matt Olson, Sean Murphy, and Matt. Oh, man. Oof. So the Yankees get Votto, Stevenson, Castillo, and Amir Garrett. That's a monster return. I was just thinking about Votto earlier. I was looking at him. He's got 3 years left. And I think it's 3 years, $57 million, but the third year I think is an option. And he's still playing at a pretty high elite level. Personally, I would go for Matt Olson, but if you get a Stevenson and and those types of guys back in return. I mean, because that addresses multiple holes, Mazza. So I like multiple holes being, multiple positions being addressed. And I agree, Hirsch. I don't think Volpe's being moved. Increase the 40-man roster to 40. Yeah, I mean, be nice if they could, or if they would. That should be part of negotiations too. Somebody threw a dono up. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to get to it. So I thank you. I'll get to it in a minute. Like the Cubs to sign Correa. That would be a big time surprise. It'd be interesting to see where Bryant, Rizzo, and Schwarber sign. I think a DH would be helpful. Yeah, Michael, totally, man. 3-team trade coming inside. Let's go. I like these 3-teamers, man. Take on the rest of Machado's 224. Send a top prospect and void. It'll probably cost a little bit more. I mean, yeah, I think you'll probably, Jason, have to add Gio at that point because they'll need somebody to replace Machado with, and I'd be totally fine with that. Tyler Talbot, bro. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for the donut super chat, man. If Judge is extended, blockbuster Padres acquire Judge, Torres, Gio, Chapman from Machado, Luis Campusano, CJ Abrams, Gore. Holy shit. Let me excuse my French. You see that again. If Judge is extended, then the Yankees trade an extended Judge with Gleyber Torres and Gio and Chapman for Manny Machado, Luis Campusano, the catcher, CJ Abrams, who's a second baseman, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Mackenzie Gore, starting pitcher, and Weathers. Dude, that's a monster trade, too. It's crazy, too, because one of the few teams that I proposed Judge ever be moved to is San Diego, because I think they have the motivation and the player capital to do it. So, yeah, I mean, if Judge is not extended, I can see him being traded to the Cubs. To the Padres. If he is extended, well, if he's extended and then they trade him, I think Yankee fans would go nuts. I think they'd probably revolt, but I see the logic on both moving him, whether he's extended or not. If you can get a package like that in return, I mean, my God. That'd be nuts. Have a little funny bone. Johnny's in the house. What's happening, man? Swisher had some key hits, man. He was just a great part of this team. Your boy Reno. I mean, I'm open to the Machado trade. I mean, I am because, I think he would be pretty productive here. And again, it would be 7 years of him over 10 years of Correa. So it wouldn't tie them up as long term as Correa would. So I'm open to it, definitely. My comment about Brian and Simmons, you trade Gio, Voit, and Gleyber in the packages to help get Olsen pitching and possibly a center fielder. Yeah, I mean, Simmons would be, as long as he's not blocking, I don't think he would, because it would probably be a 1-year thing. If you had Olsen, and Simmons is the most, is a defensively gifted infielder. If you can get Olsen, and then you move Gio, me replace him with Bryant, though you'd still have a defensively elite infield. So that was my biggest concern, but you achieved that in these trades. So I would definitely consider that, Sal. You're that sure about Volpe? Yeah, I'm very confident about Volpe, and pretty much everybody else is too. The way he's progressing and the way he carries himself, I'm more confident about him than I am about any other Yankee prospect right now. So, but again, it could turn out to not happen, but he's the only one he's the only absolute untouchable to me in the Yankees system right now. And, yeah. What I loved about Posada was yeah, absolutely, Sean. He was a fiery player. He's a switch hitting catcher, too. He was productive. I mean, he was good, man. He was good. I missed your last comment. Uh-oh. Where is your last comment? Inside. Man, it's inside attraction to the Yankees. Frankie Montez, Zach Gallen from Diamondbacks, Luis Vargas to A's, Glaber, Oswald Peraza, Alex Thomas to D-backs, Gio, Urendris Gomez, Luis Medina. Frankie Montes, 2 starting pitchers. So the Yankees are giving up their starting second baseman, top shortstop prospect, starting third baseman, and 2 top pitching prospect and another NFL prospect. But they're getting 2 solid starting pitchers in return. That's an interesting trade too, there. It really is. Not extend. Yeah, I figured that much, Tyler. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I mean, if he, there's no doubt about it. I mean, I think if he declines an extension of any kind, you trade him immediately. So inside the strike zone, that's an intriguing trade, man. That's a very intriguing trade. Oh, Cincinnati, Sanchez, Voit, Gomez, Peraza, Bubba Chandler, Gonzalez, Pittsburgh, Glaber, Schmidt, Austin Wells, Ken Waldichuk, Votto, Stevenson. Yankees, Castillo, Garrett, and Brian Reynolds. Wow. Castillo, Garrett, an elite. So a number 2 starter, an elite reliever, and a starting center fielder. And they're giving up a decent amount, but that's actually a pretty balanced trade there, Mazza, in my opinion. I mean, all teams give up a lot. All teams are getting a lot, too. I like that one, Mazza. I like that one, bro. That's a good one. That's an interesting trade. Dairy farmer trade for Nestor Cortez. I actually put out a Cortez to the Cub proposal recently, too. Luis Medina, Shane Bieber, Yankees get. The Cubs get Nestor and Shane Bieber. The Yankees get Wilson Contreras and Jose Ramirez. Cleveland gets Nelson Velasquez, Dominguez, Trey Sweeney. Well, so the Yankees would be getting Jose Ramirez in return and giving up Jason Dominguez to. That's an intriguing one too. That's really intriguing, Dairy Farmer. Let me think about that one as well. Barry Bonds would probably be getting with those numbers he had, probably 40 to 50 million per. I think so. I mean, he was unstoppable, man. I mean, my God. The only player I knew in history that was intentionally walk with the bases loaded on a regular basis. It's like, my God. Probably, I would say 40 to 50, Carlos. We should extend Judge, sign Rizzo, and Suzuki. Trade Voit Glaber for defensive first catcher like Sandoval. Come the Royals. It was a Nino one. Or no. Trade Voit and Glaber for a defensive-minded catcher. Interesting, Sean. I would be going after a young catcher like MJ Melendez or Luke Camposano from the Padres or something like that. But Tyler Soderstrom, who's blocked by Sean Murphy. I don't think they're going to move their catcher in Kansas City, their head guy. He's got like 5 more years of team control on a monster contract. He's the face of the franchise right now. I'd be shocked if they move him. I'll say that, Sean. But it's an intriguing trade idea. I think Yankees signed Suzuki. So do I. Inside the strike zone, 3-team trade. John Boy to New York NYY recaps. Derek to Unhinged. Pat to Talking. That's a pretty balanced trade there. Inside the strike zone, that's a pretty balanced trade. Where do I think Correa is going? Philadelphia or Detroit? That's where I think he's going to go. Bonds would get $600 million. Probably, Mike. At those numbers that he's putting up on, forget it. Yeah, I'd trade with the $600 million, man. That's a monster. Udall's in the house. What's happening, bud? We need to upgrade over our catching. Yes, we do. Yes, we most certainly do. At the major league level, and they need to draft better catching too. They need to draft, and I said this, D-Rod, so what's happening, man? They need to draft a catcher in the top 5 rounds every year for the next 5 years. Get a pipeline full of catchers here so that you have either depth here or you have also valuable trade pieces. Either way, it would benefit the team. So Rumors are that Machado is a cancer in the clubhouse. I have not heard that one, but yeah, I hope not. I hope not. Jason Rizzo first, DJ second, Machado a short, Chapman a third, Stanton left, Suzuki / Gallen center, Judge and right knee pitching and a catcher. What would you do with Volpe, Jason? Where's Volpe going to come in this equation? Bonds he was like superhuman, man. I mean, obviously he had assistance, but I've never seen anything like Barry Bonds ever in my lifetime. Never. If I pull up the stadium and see Gary warming up, I'm throwing out Toronto. Tomato. Looting, you're funny, man. Is there any way the Yankees can trade Gallo in a package first? Probably. I mean, San Diego tried to get him at the deadline last year, but I'm not exactly sure which. Maybe they can get one of these young top prospect stars and one of their younger kids and get Gallo to San Diego. I mean, a couple other teams, but it's definitely possible. I just don't see a long list of teams who are willing to give up a starter for a Gallo. I mean, Miami might be one, but you'd have to goose the package a little bit. Tyler Talbot, here we go. 3-team trade. Yankees get Manea, Olsen, Luis Campusano. Is that Machado or Manea, Tyler? I want to make sure I'm reading it right. Olsen, Luis Campusano, catcher, Frankie Montez, and CJ Abrams. A's get Medina, Torres, Peraza. Weathers, Padres get Bassett, Gio, Gallo, Chapman, Tony King. God, you guys are putting out the beast-ass 3-team trades. I love it, man. Nicky Lopez, an option. Yeah, maybe a little bit, Joshua, but I not ahead of a lot of these other guys. Not ahead of these other guys. That's maybe. As long as he's not blocking people, so. Talbot, that's a monster trade, man. I like the stuff. I like the personnel. I don't whether it's Manea or Machado. Actually, doesn't matter to me. They're getting good players in return. I mean, Campusano, Montez, Manea or Machado, Olsen, CJ. Damn. I like it, Tyler Talbot. I like it, man. Yankees do not need to sign Correa. He is in a need. Freddie Freeman should be the guy that is in need because fans tell me who's the Yankees' first base prospect. It's probably right now Austin Wells because he's projecting as a first base prospect. But I prefer Matt Olson over Freddie Freeman. It's because he's 5 years younger. But if they got Freeman and he stays healthy and productive, I would not complain at all. No, they don't need to sign Correa, but I mean, they have the money, they can. And, would I rather trade for Machado at this point than sign Correa? Probably, but I mean, I would rather get Olsen before moving for either one of those guys. I really do. Udall, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope she gets well. I really do. So please, accept my thoughts and my love there, man, and please take care of him, man. Yankees would need to trade Peraza or Dominguez for MJ Melendez. I don't know about that because he hasn't proven himself at the major league level yet, Peter. Not Dominguez. And Peraza maybe because he's closer, but they don't need Peraza, Kansas City. Because they have Bobby Witt Jr. coming. They have, at Alberto Mondesi. They have a pipeline themselves at short. So they wouldn't need Peraza. They would need a different prospect. More likely a pitcher. Dominguez, I don't think he would move for Melendez because generally you trade guys like that for proven major leaguers, and I just don't think it would cost that much. You probably have to move Dominguez for Salvador Perez, but I wouldn't, but still, it would probably take that. Trade Judge, Trey Sweeney, Gio Urshela Medina to Oakland for Matt Olson, Matt Chapman, and Sean Murphy. The only issue with that, Mike, is that the A's are not going to pony up the money to extend Judge. That's the problem. But they're not going to pay Olson, Chapman, or Sean Murphy, and they're definitely not going to pay Aaron Judge. So, I mean, hypothetically, that's a nice trade. I just don't see it happening because of that factor. Because Judge is about to get paid, absolutely paid. So, that'd be my only. The only thing I think would be a roadblock. You think we'll see an $18 million contract in baseball? A $1 billion? I don't know if that'll happen in our lifetime. That would be complete insanity, Davey. Damn, $1 billion? Shit. I don't know. Yeah, I don't see it in my lifetime, but crazier things can happen. Crazier things can happen. Any thoughts on Grisham? He's solid. I mean, not my first pick, but he's solid. Trent Grisham. Trade Sanchez for a pitcher. Yeah, I mean, I'd move him to Miami and have him beat a DH there. LA Yankee King right now, it's pretty much Austin Wells who's going to be their first base prospect. No, I don't think Voigt's going to be the guy. Why would the Padres trade Machado? I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's what's being speculated right now. A lot of people are talking about it. I don't know if they'll actually do it, but it's fun to see some folks put out some trades here. And, Padres are still trying to go after trying to get into the World Series essentially and win the National League. So, essentially they would probably want to keep Machado, or if they're going to trade Machado, they're going to want somebody like Aaron Judge in return. So, I don't think Volpe gets. I would be shocked, Jason, if Volpe gets traded. Yeah, the Yankees are have super depth at shortstop prospect pipeline, and they're about to add to it Roderick Arias on Saturday. So, it's just going to get depth. I mean, that's shortstop and center field tend to be the most athletic and most versatile positions. That's why they're beefing up at depth, and they do need some more. Yankees first. Yeah, I mean, Chris Gittens was their power hitting first base when he was up in AAA. He did go to Japan. He's actually teammates now with Hideki Matsui. No, not Matsui. Sorry, Masahiro Tanaka. Tanaka over in the I forgot the name. Yomiuri Giants, I think it is. But yeah, he's teammates with Tanaka. Promote Peraza and Florial. I mean, I'm not opposed to that at all, Sean. I'm really not. If we can make that Jason trade happen, I'm forgetting about Volpe. Or maybe I'll vote from the second one's DJs. The second. I mean, yeah, I think out of all those guys, Volpe's the one most likely to pan out, but the Yankees, right now. I mean, but things change every year, and I just hope he still continues that upward trajectory. I would trade Joey Gallo for prospects. And some people would. I mean, some people would. And I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. No, you're right. Judge or Gallo are not center fielders. But Gallo did play a pretty credible center field. So I wouldn't be, opposed to him. But I still think he's a multi-positional guy. So, but I don't think Judge is the answering center fielder either. Man, this thing's going fast. Yeah, man, just may she get well, Udo. May she get well, man. 3-team trade of Judges not extended. It's got to involve the Padres and involve the Padres and the Marlins, Tyler. I think that would be a really good 3-team trade scenario of Judges and extended, because either one of those teams could pony up what the Yankees would want for Judge, and the Yankees would be able to get a lot of return back. So that's that I think. I mean, Marlins, Padres, and Yankees would be a monster 3-team trade. The Yankees can get some pitching and some positional versatility from the Padres and some pitching from the Marlins, and they can give up Judge and they can give up something else as well. So obviously they get sent to San Diego. Yeah, I mean I agree too, Matthew. Tyler? What would be your 3-team trade proposal if Judge is not extended? If it doesn't include those teams, I really want to see this. I really want to know what your idea is. Yeah, Gallo. The good thing with Gallo here is he doesn't have to be the guy here, and he's also, I think starting the year with the team is going to be a hell of a lot different than having to be thrown to the wolves mid-season and adapt immediately. So I think he's going to be fine. And that's my guess. Judge is definitely the face of this team right now, no doubt about it. Undervaluing MJ Melendez, who hit 40 home runs in AAA last year and projects to stay a catcher. MJ, I mean, he's definitely a good-looking prospect. There's no doubt about it. Melendez stats. Did he hit 40 last year? Did he really? 40 bombs? Yeah, 41. Wow, and 103 RBIs in 2021. Wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty good numbers, man. That's pretty good numbers. He's 23 years old. Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that I proposed for a while in trades. So, he's definitely worth looking into because, again, he's blocked by Salvador Perez. So, yeah, no doubt about it, Sal. I mean, I feel the same way about Gallo. Keeping Judge obviously is priority one, but if he turns down an extension offer, you got to trade him immediately. There's no other way. Don't up and offer a bid against him and negotiate against themselves, because that's how they're gonna get screwed up. Second, have Lux on the bench in the outfield. I mean, Dodgers too. I actually had a trade proposal with Judge to the Dodgers a while back. I had a video, 3 Aaron Judge trade proposals. If you haven't seen it, go take a look. Let me know what you think of those trade ideas. A's want nothing but control. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Chop. 362. Controllables, man. And then when they get expensive, they trade them away. It's just rinse and repeat with the A's. Oh. Yankees have Sweeney, Vargas, Peraza, Volpe, Arias. He's shortstop prospects. Austin Wells is the first base prospect. That's it. We need Freeman over Correa. We don't need a shortstop. I mean, I don't disagree. They can use some of these shortstop as trade bait. So I still prefer Matt Olson over Freddie Freeman, though. Conforto, play outfield and move Judge, or Gallo to center. Was Conforto only a corner outfielder, or does he play center also? I don't remember. I mean, it's definitely worth considering Conforto. You really do. David, yeah, I know it's rough, man. We're in week 8 or something like that, or week 9 of this. I think it's week 8 actually of this strike, and not week 8, week 7, excuse me. And it's stuff. I mean, whatever news pops out, I want to make sure to keep us all engaged throughout this lockout. I mean, there's something. So we're going to find out something tomorrow because they're actually meeting tomorrow to negotiate. So I don't know what the hell it's going to be, but I'm going to put a video out on it. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to hearing whatever it is, as long as it's a little bit more progress than they made last time. In December 7th, they only met for 8 minutes, and then they left. So that was not a good sign. So, but they seem to have a more of an appetite to get moving forward, in the forward direction, which is good. But both sides, at the end of the day, are going to have to give up something. They're going to have to compromise on both sides. So, it's just the bottom line. If they want to do this, but they're going to keep doing this and digging in, it's just going to keep hurting the game even more. Sanchez for Pablo Lopez makes sense for both teams. Well, it makes sense for the Yankees, but you're going to have to give up. You're going to have to add somebody to Sanchez to get Pablo Lopez. He's got 3 controllable years as a starting pitcher, so you'd have to give up a decent, probably a top 15 prospect. Sanchez, I would say. True, but I mentioned Pablo Lopez. I like him too. Now, there is a way the Yankees can make 2 separate deals to get Olsen and Reynolds. Just thought of that. So there definitely is. They're gonna have to give up a lot, Michael. But you know, if you have some insight, man, let's hear it, man. Let's hear it. Jared, yeah, totally, man. I totally hear that. Judge and Gallo aren't center fielders. Yes, they are. That's right. They played a little bit of center. Gallo a little bit more credible. And Gallo has the best outfield arm in the team. So, but they're not natural center fielders. I would prefer Brian Reynolds in center field over pretty much anybody. Gallo, Judge, center, right. Stanton, Hicks for left and DH, and bam, the outfield is handled. What do you think? It's definitely possible, Nelly. I mean, I would be alternating. Personally, I like to alternate Stanton, Gallo, and Judge, or even Hicks here. Give them each a DH day and an off day per week, so that they have or an off day every other week or something like that. At least a DH day every week. So I'd rather have 130 healthy games out of Stanton, and 130, 140 out of all those guys, and as I think it was a little bit too much. Too much injury risk there for these guys. They're all big dudes. So, and Hicks is now more injury prone than he's ever been. So that's kind of how I would do a steady diet. But I mean, those 4 guys essentially are all they need, to be honest with you. So I'm not, I agree with you. Sanchez for Pablo. Yeah, you're going to have to give up more than Sanchez. Yeah. John Butts is in the house. What's happening? Hey, couple resume. Doesn't Machado have an opt-out on the horizon? Yeah, I think it's after 2 or 3 more years. So it's not – I think it's in 2025, if I remember correctly. I don't think Volpe's going to be moved for anybody, nor do I think should he. Gallo and Judge are not center field. They're corner guys. Even corner guys play a little bit of center. So we know that they're not center fielders, but – the Yankees need them to play center on occasion. They do that. D-Rod. Inside the strike zone, man. Always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure. Thank you for hopping on with us, man. Yeah, Melendez did that, Ludin. I didn't realize that's crazy. That's crazy, man. Let's see. Always having fun here, man. Always having fun. God, this thing keeps opening series. I think it's maybe Minnesota. I'm not 100% positive. I'm not 100% positive. I think it might be Minnesota. Let's see here. But I mean, Gallo to me is the corner outfield on the Yankees most capable of playing center field, no doubt about it. Marlins won't give up Pablo Lopez, need him to contend. And yeah, they also, I mean, they've actually said they want to move guys like Lopez for some of their younger talent along the way, and they're willing to trade guys like Lopez and maybe another guy for offensive. An infusion of offense. So I wouldn't be surprised. Pablo Lopez to me would be the most movable guy on that team. But who knows? Strawberry, love it. Trade Judge, Gallo, and Luke Voigt, and Medina to the Padres for Machado and Hosmer. I don't think I want Hosmer here. Machado and Campusano I would maybe consider. Hosmer, I don't think he's going to be the right fit here, Mike. But I do think that the Padres are one of the most realistic teams for a Judge trade. NL West, Dodgers or Padres. I could see that. And Dodgers are like their superstars, so they just lost 2 of them. I don't think Posada or Sanchez can catch the Gold Glove. Or the glove is COVID. I don't think Posada. I hear that, man. I hear that. I mean, Posada, I like Posada. What's your starting day lineup? Starter and clue. It's going to be Garrett Cole, big boy. There's no doubt about it. Starter. I mean, It's probably going to be in center field. Let me think about that. After all the moves and whatnot, I think Ender Inciarte is probably going to make the lineup as the fourth outfielder, personally. Not sure who they're going to lead off. I don't think it's, I would still have DJ batting second. I would have, let's just say they get Seiya Suzuki. I would, have Suzuki there. I would have DJ there. I would have Judge. Hopefully, I think Olsen will be there, sandwiching Olsen between Judge and Stanton. And then you have Gallo. And then you have your catcher. And then you have, if it's Gleyber Torres there, and Gio is there as well. That's kind of what my opening day is, I think, is going to look like, big boy. I'm curious to know if they're going to trade for a center fielder or bring in somebody like Seiya Suzuki. That's one of my more bigger curiosities. But I don't think they move Volpe under any circumstances. It just doesn't make any sense. Because Volpe is also versatile. He doesn't have to play shortstop. So, and neither does Correa. Neither does Machado. Neither does Story. They're used to two different positions. So, and Correa has actually also talked to A-Rod already about what it was like to transition from short to third on the Yankees. So they've already had this discussion too. If the Braves don't re-sign Freeman and the Braves trade Christian Pache, Shea Langoliers, catcher, Kyle Muller, and Marcelo Ozuna for Judge and Voigt. I don't know if the Yankees would accept Ozuna because of the domestic violence stuff right now. That I'm not sure about. Angels, what's happening, man? Angel Serrano was in the house. Welcome, man. Good to have you on. I hope so too, man. I really, really hope so too. I really, really do, man. I'm curious to see what happens tomorrow. I will definitely put out a video as soon as I get any breaking news on tomorrow's meeting. They're going to be negotiating tomorrow. So, Tyler, Yankees get Montez, Machado, Kenzie Gore, Adams, Luis Campusano, Weathers, Myers, A's, Florial, Medina, Torres, Gio Schmidt, Josh Mears, Ethan Elliott. Padres get Judge, Gallo, Matt Chapman, Aroldis Chapman, and Chris Bassett. Wow. What do the Yankees get? Frankie Montez, Machado, Mackenzie Gore, starter, CJ Abrams, catcher. And they give up Judge, Aroldis. It's another monster trade, Tyler. I like it, man. That's a lot of extraction of value back for the Yankees, man. Get a frontline starter, a starting third baseman, and a top cap pitching prospect, a second base prospect, a catcher. I like it, man. And Will Myers, if that's who you're referring to, he can play multiple positions too. I mean, he can also play first base if they don't get somebody like Matt Olson. So, I like his versatility. So he's a solid player. No. See, the Yankee fans aren't that smart this offseason because the team was mediocre trash last year. We're talking about trading for players. We should be trading away players and retooling. They should be doing both, LI Yankee King. Both. I wouldn't say trash, 92 wins. I mean, I wouldn't say trash. It's still they need to do both. They need to bring in some people. They need to upgrade. Update and upgrade the personnel. There's no doubt about that. So, and they need to get more athletic and versatile. They need to get more defensively skilled. So, there's a lot of things they need to do. Udall, I appreciate that, man. L'chaim, I appreciate that. Drew Phillips, man. Sanchez did get a vaccine because he can't. Too late. It's the A's and the Padres. I like the A's and Padres and the Yankees 3-teamer, Tyler. I like it, man. The A's aren't trading two players in the same trade. I wouldn't go that far. I can see that happening this offseason. The A's moving two guys if they get a good package in return, and I think they will. Gallo really wrestling player can be on 200. In my mind, it's gonna be good, but I understand why some people disagree. Yeah, no doubt about it. We always have fun up in here, man. Trying to catch up to you guys here. Luden Verdugo's in the Red Sox. Yeah, Alex Verdugo, yeah. Start Judge, bench Harper, cut bets. Oh boy. Start, bench, cut. Judge bets Harper. Start. Just based on right now. I start Harper or my bench bets and I cut Judge. People are going to kill me for that. But Judge has 1 year left. That's why I cut him. That's the only reason why I cut him. Torres for Bellinger and Lester. Yeah, I heard some Torres for Bellinger. They're going to have to give up a little bit more for Clay. I do have a feeling Torres will probably be more likely moved in an Olsen deal. But you never know. I mean, Bellinger could still have a monster bounce back. Michael Madsen, Oakland gets Voit, Glaber, Peraza, Schmidt, Sweeney. The Yankees get Olsen, Montez, or Murphy. Pittsburgh gets Medina, Herman, Florial, Schmidt, Wells, and Sanchez. The Yankees get Brian Reynolds. Oh, Pittsburgh gets Medina, Herman, Florial, Schmidt, Wells, and Sanchez. Voit, Glaber, Peraza, Schmidt, Sweeney. God, the Yankees give up 11 players, and they get 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4. If you got Olsen and Murphy and Brian Reynolds, I'd be ecstatic. Mazza. I'd be ecstatic for that, man. I really would. Luden me, Gratterall, Lux, and Bellinger for Judge and Glaber if Judge doesn't stay. It's funny. I had a May, Gratterall, and Lux trade for Judge early this season, but adding Bellinger and Glaber really makes it intriguing for me, Luden. I like that. I like that, man. Oh, wait a minute. Tyler just put out another one, too, here. God, this thing keeps scrolling really fast, man. Hang on. I'm trying to catch up to you guys. The funny... yeah, I hear that, man. Yankees get Olsen, Montez, Luis Camposano, Kenzie Gore, Weathers, Machado, Myers. A's get Gio, Torres, Voit, Peraza, Ethan Elliott, Medina, Schmidt, Garcia, Florial, Josh Means. Padres get Chapman, Gallo, Judge, Bassett. See the Yankees again get Olsen, Montez, Camposano, Gore, Weathers, Machado, Myers. I guess you could put Myers out there right now in Judge's place too. He plays infield and outfield. I'd probably sign up for that one, Tyler. Man, it's kind of a crazy. I think the Yankees need to do some kind of crazy ass trade. And you guys are putting out some pretty ballsy ones tonight, man. I like it, Tyler. I like it. Schmidt goes to Oakland. In place of Schmidt, you trade Dominguez. In place of Schmidt, you trade Dominguez. If the Yankees get Reynolds, I can't see them getting him without Dominguez. I just can't. And even moving Dominguez and two other guys is not emptying the farm. The Yankees have enough depth right now to move a guy like Dominguez and a couple other players. They can move Trey Sweeney, especially now they're going to get Roderick Arias, who's going to actually bump Sweeney down in the rankings in their prospects. So they've already acknowledged that too. Arias is going to come in as their number 5, they're saying. So, and Sweeney's already 6. And they still have Volpe, Oswaldo Cabrera at number 11. They have Oswald Peraza. So they have a lot of shortstop depth. And the Yankees giving up 2 or 3 top prospects in a couple different trades. That's not emptying the farm yet. So I'm not really worried about that. But it also depends on who they're bringing in. If you're getting Matt Olson and Brian Reynolds back, then that's a nice haul for the Yankees, man. 2 superstars with a couple more controllable years each. 1-on-1 trade Hicks for a starting pitcher. I would do it, Ethan. I would do it. Texas. Let's say DJ. LA Yankee came out with trade DJ to the White Sox in this trade and save $15 million. White Sox acquired DJ. Yankees acquire Sean Burke. DJ gladly. Number 12 and 28 prospects in the White Sox system. 12 and are the White Sox assuming all of DJ's contract? For 12 and 28, that's all the Yankees are going to get. Are they getting the entire contract eaten by the White Sox? Quick question. What do you think about Monty being the number 2 option behind Cole? Yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, I think they're still going to bring. I think he'd be better probably at number 3. But if they don't bring in anybody, then I would move him at number 2 because he's been kind of moving up over the last couple of years. He's been a quietly dependable starter with the Yankees. But I think bringing in a guy like Rodon or Luis Castillo in a trade if they can or something like that, and keep him on at the number 3, I think is a better idea. Yes, Alan, the owners are presenting a new deal tomorrow, so I will report on that. I'll put out a video on exactly what happens in that meeting. But yeah, it's tomorrow. The Funny Bones always have great value, man. Funny Bones are phenomenal. Hicks for Hosmer. Oof. I'm not sure. Because Hosmer doesn't have much value. I mean, Hicks has a lower annual value in his contract than Hosmer does. To me, I would move Hicks from someone for probably pitcher. Reynolds is right up there, Ryan Beck. I'm with you, man. Second priority, biggest priority, or even first biggest priority. No doubt about it, man. See another dono coming, man. I appreciate you. I'll get you in a second. Suzuki's going to end up being pretty expensive. I think he's going to go to Boston, Luden, at the end of the day. I really do. Release Hicks, trade Glaber and Sanchez, and wait for catcher and Contreras. I think they can get something in a trade for Hicks, Sean. I don't know if it's a lot, but it'd be better than releasing him and just eating his whole entire contract. But who knows with Hicks, and we really don't know. Bauer isn't convicted, and the Dodgers are trying to dump him. I don't know, Peter, man. I'm not sure. He did re-up. He did exercise his player option with the Dodgers, so the Dodgers are on the hook for like $35 million. But if he gets released, then all the Yankees would have to do is pay the minimum, and at that point maybe, but I don't know. It'll be too much of a headache, I think, and too much drama here. Chances of signing Rodon, I'm saying about 40% right now. That's my guess. Mike Dara, thank you so much for the Super Chat dono, man. Trade Judge and Volpe, Dominguez, and Trey Sweeney for Luis Medina for Juan Soto. Well, that's a lot for Soto. Judge, Volpe, and Dominguez, and Trey Sweeney, and Luis Medina for Juan Soto. I would do that for Prime Barry Bonds. I'm not sure for Juan Soto, although Juan Soto's a stud. That's a lot, man. That's a really lot. That'd be pretty shocking. I mean, definitely give the Nationals a lot of pieces, to build around. That's for sure. That's for damn sure. That's an intriguing one too. Vargas, yeah, he is. I'm not sure Sweeney will stick there either. He had a good year this past year, but I'm just not sure. Mike, thank you so much again for that donor, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. You're a beast. 3-team trade: Marlins, Yankees, Padres. This is the one, Tyler. I'm telling you, this is the one. I mean, I think this is the time. I mean, honestly, you could trade Judge to either one of those teams if he turns down an extension. And if you move Judge to the Padres, then you send, like a Gleyber Torres and somebody else, Sanchez or something like that, to the Marlins. Or if you send Judge to the Marlins, I just don't think the Marlins are going to pony up the money to extend him. But crazier things have happened. He could be their big expenditure. And, Derek Jeter will kind of make that kind of splash. So if he goes to the Marlins, then I see the Yankees going after like Campusano and maybe Will Myers and somebody like that. So I could definitely see in the end, but the Yankees are going to have to fork up a tiny bit. Obviously, Aaron Judge will be the big get. I mean, they can go for Machado too, but some young guys like C.J. Abrams and Mackenzie Gore, things like that, will be guys the Yankees should be going after. There's no doubt about it, man. No doubt. Those guys for Vladdy, I don't think Toronto is going to move Vladdy for anything. Volpe, Dominguez. I don't think moving Volpe and Dominguez in the same trade for anybody is going to ever happen. Ketel Marte in Arizona will be another one. A good acquisition. Hicks, Gallo, Voit to Arizona for Marte. Hicks, Gallo, and Voit to Arizona for Marte. I would do that. Yankees would do the minimum. Rizzo, Simmons, and the back end start. I sure hope not true. I hope you're not right on that. I really, really do. Ketel Marte's solid, but he's not the guy that I want. I mean, Brian Reynolds is the guy that I want for center field. There's no doubt about it. He's as elite as it gets in center field. Soto in the short porch, yeah, would be a monster. If you can keep Volpe out of that trade, then it's something I would consider. Judge is, yes, he does. So does Stanton. So does Cole. So do these other guys. So, and I hope he wins the ring with the Yankees. I really do. Sal, 100%, man. But I agree, too. I don't think the Nationals are going to have any appetite to trade Soto. They're going to want to build around him. They really, really are. Cubs trade. Lucas Medium, Josh. This thing's moving all over the place. Josh Bell, Yankees get Patrick Corbin and Correa, catcher prospect Wilson. Washington gets Gary Sanchez, Luis Seal, Alec Mills. Interesting dairy farmer. Interesting. Patrick Corbin, I think, has 4 years left on, or maybe 3 years left on his deal. So that's another maybe too. Matt, what's happening, man? Nimmo, I don't think is. Conforto is. He might be. I'm 50-50 on Nimmo. I know Conforto's a free agent. Hendricks and Contreras for Hicks, Medina, Sanchez, and Waldichuk. Hendricks and Contreras for Hicks, Medina, Sanchez, Ken Waldichuk. I think I would do that trade, Ethan. I think I would do that. A 5-1 against the White Sox this year. The Yankees played well against Chicago. Yeah. Over under Simeon and Seager traded from Rangers. I'm going to say over. I think if any of them get traded, it's probably going to be like 5 years in or something like that. I think. I don't think they get traded that early. I think the Texas Rangers are going to add more pieces this offseason once this lockout's over. And they're going to go for it over the next couple of years. I think. Tyler. Padres get Judge, Gallo. Ramirez get Chapman. Yankees get Lopez, Cabrera, Machado, Gore, Myers, Campusano, Marlon Sanchez, Torres, Gio, Trent Grisham, Austin Adams. Wow. Padres get Judge, Gallo. What do the Yankees get? Lopez, Eduardo Cabrera, Manny Machado, Mackenzie Gore, Will Myers, Campusano. I would do that trade, man. Tyler. I like that one, bro. I like that one. Yes, sir. I like that one. He's just not with it. Hirsch and Mafia until Saturday night. Udall. Just not with it. Hirsch and Mafia until Saturday night. Be well all. Udall, go take care of things, man. All right? Go take care of things. Always good to have you. We'll be here Saturday night, man. We'll be here Saturday night. Chris Rob's in the house. What's happening, man? What's good? What's good? Might need to enable slow mode for the chat at these speeds. They go fast, man. That's what happens when a lot of folks start chiming in, man. It's tough. It's tough. Strasburg is not healthy. He still has some issues, man. And he's on a monster contract too. You say Kikuchi. Kikuchi's another one with Seattle. If you can get him on a 342, you definitely do something like that. I think he'd be relatively solid here in New York. So, say Suzuki to Angels, I could see that too, big boy. I could definitely see that. Don't trust Strasburg. Yeah, I agree, Hirsch, 100%. I just worry about his health, and he's just at this point now with the issues getting a little bit more serious. Right after he signed this monster contract, that really concerns me. It really does. It really, really does. So, what can we do since the Marlins to trade us? I don't think we can, Angel. They wanted to get at that reliable starting catcher here, and that was a good one that they did. That was a really good one, man. So I don't think they're going to move him. I don't think they're going to move Stallings now. Considering what else has to be done besides starters and the prospects they would take, which 2 pitchers you take on the trade market? On the trade market, personally, Luis Castillo and like Frankie Montas. If I can get those 2, I'd be a happy guy. I'd be a really happy guy. What I think the Mets are going to do, I think the Mets are going to bring in somebody for like third base. I mean, for some reason, my gut's telling me they might not be bringing in. They might bring in Chris Bryant as a surprise, and I still think they're going to bring in a reliever too. Chris Bryant would be completely insane, but I'm not ruling it out. That's what I think they're going to do. They're going to make one big splash and then one small move. I don't think we're trading DJ either. It just doesn't make sense to trade him right now. I still want to go after Herman Marquez. Yeah, it isn't. I mean, Herman Marquez would be a nice get, and trading with the Oakland guys would be probably the most realistic trade. And I have a feeling Cashman's going to pull some trade with someone out of nowhere that we weren't thinking, and he's going to get value. He always does this, and we're like, what the hell did that come from? I have a feeling he's going to do one of those 2. I'm not getting Suzuki. I think the most we trade for is Olsen and Manea. We sign someone else, but trades are something realistic that you would think we're playing. I think the A's or the Cincinnati Reds or something like that are probably the most realistic trade partners. That's what I think. Cashman likes the power righty pitchers. If the guys are Castillo, that's what I mean. I think it is possible to get Reynolds and Olsen, but they're going to have to be willing to give up a lot. There's no doubt about it. So the Yankees make a deal with Miami. Was it Michael Mazza? To get one of their starters as well as signing Rodon. Now their rotation is stronger than last year's. It makes them – dude, if they could trade for Pablo Lopez and then sign Carlos Rodon, I would sign up for that. The rotation would be exponentially better. And then it would leave guys like Cortez or Michael King or even Luis Severino in long relief and then allow them to kind of transition back to starters. So, Luden, what if the guys waste on Castillo and they're having capital for, say, Reynolds or Olsen? Yeah, I mean, Reynolds or Olsen to me are my 2 main targets, Luden. No doubt about it. Those are my 2 main targets. Luis Castillo, I'd love to get too, but if you can get Carlos Rodon instead of a trade for Castillo, if you need some of those Castillo pieces to get an Olsen and a Reynolds, I do that. Corey Lee in the Astros organization for a catcher, number 1 prospect in Astros system, ETA 2020. I'll have to take a look at him. I don't recall taking a look at Corey Lee. I will. I mean, if he's that solid, if he's gettable, then yeah, the Yankees, can use a little bit more catching depth. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Cashman likes falling asleep. Yeah, he does that. Like I said, I think we're gonna be partly disappointed and partly pleasantly surprised. A combination of the 2 this offseason. There's gonna be like, man, he could have done that trade, and then he's gonna do something again where we're gonna be like, how the hell did he do that? I think he's gonna do both, which generally is his MO. More offseason after the Marlins Padres would be sign Suzuki, trade for Olsen, sign and Eddie Rosario. I would sign up for that, Tyler, like that. I love it. I would sign up for that. No doubt about it. What do I personally think is going to happen at shortstop? I think Oswald Peraza is probably going to be the guy. I think if they sign anyone between Correa and Story, it's going to be Correa. But I think Oswald Peraza, I think, is going to be the guy at shortstop. I do think so. They're high. They're very high on him. So, and again, I think Olsen's the guy to go after here. No doubt about it. Cashman did like 4 big moves and 4 bad. Probably big boy. Probably something like that. Yeah. 4 big and 4 bad. Yep. That's very Cashman. So, Chris, man, my pleasure, dude. My pleasure. Get some rest, man. Work hard. Be careful, man. I'll talk to you hopefully on Saturday night, buddy. I think the Yankees get someone. Yeah, I do, Michael. I think it's going to be like a Chris Bassett or Sean Manaea in an Olsen trade. I really do. Sleeping outside. Yeah, I hear that, hot Scott. No doubt. If we looked at the 2022 draft class, yeah, it's a pretty good looking class. It is a pretty good looking class. So again, if I were the Yankees, I'd load up a catcher, I'd load up at pitching. So and in some positions as well, obviously, but I would have a higher emphasis on some catchers in the early rounds. Trade Nestor and Voit to the Cubs for Contreras. I don't think it'll cost that much, big boy. I think they can get, I think they would probably get maybe Ian Happ coming back with Contreras for Nestor and Cortez. The only reason, Nestor and Voit, the only reason I said it, Voigt's not afraid until 2025, Nestor's not until 2026. Those controllable years would be gold for a team kind of retooling like the Cubs. And I think they would have to give up more than Contreras, who only has 1 year left. So it would probably have to be Ian Happ or somebody like that coming back to the Yankees, who they could probably flip in another deal. That'd be kind of the way I'm thinking about it, but I could be wrong. Olsen with a starting pitcher would be, yeah, it would. I hope the Yankees do that. Again, multiple players addressed, multiple positions addressed in one trade is a good way to go. And the Yankees have the assets. They can't cry poverty here, okay? It's just not going to work. It's not credible at all, crying poverty. These guys are swimming in money. Yankees aren't trading DJ. Yeah, matter of signing a shortstop. Yeah, I don't think they're going to move from DJ either. It doesn't make sense to. Olsen, pitcher, add Reynolds for the farm. It's going to cost a chunk of it, Luden, that's for sure. But again, if you can get Olsen and Brian Reynolds, man, that's a game changer for the Yankees. It really is. Scott, yeah. I hear that, man. I hear that, bro. Yeah. It's entertaining, isn't it, Scott? Hello? To the fan base for breadcrumbs. Oh, man, I love it. Sign Rodon and a shortstop. Yeah, I can see that too. I really could see Rodon and a shortstop. There's no doubt about it. I can see a signing Correa, Suzuki, Rodon. No doubt about it, big boy. Yep, I can see that too. Lefties more, no doubt. If the Yankees make a deal, I think Cashman will pull a 3-team blockbuster out of his hat and get a couple of pieces that we need to help the team. I could see that too. Easily see that, Mazza. He's good at 3-teamers in the offseason. That's how we got Didi here in a 3-teamer. So I can see us signing Kurt Suzuki for catcher. I don't know. Is he still? Isn't he retired or retiring? I don't know. Seiya Suzuki, I can see them signing, Scott, but I'm not sure if Kurt's still active playing. Cashman has said that Peraza isn't MLB ready. The glove is ready, but the bat needs. Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with that because his stats are pretty darn good in the minors. His glove is elite. And we don't need him to be a slugger. You put up decent numbers and play great shortstop. I'd be happy with that. Jeter's stats offensively weren't elite when he first came up either. He was just a solid contact hitter. He grew into his offensive, skill set. I think the same thing would happen to Peraza. But it would immediately improve the infield defense, which is something that the Yankees need. They gotta improve their defense, particularly in the infield. They were dreadful. Casimir, wow, is he still around? Lineup would be okay. Lineup would be DJ, Suzuki, Stanton, Olsen, Correa, Machado, Rosario, Maris, Camposano. DJ, Suzuki, Stanton, Olsen, Correa, Machado. Oh, imagine that. Holy crap. Suzuki, then Stanton, then Olsen, then Correa, then Machado, then oh my God. That would be an all-time lineup right there, Tyler. Absolute murderer's row, bro. Murderer's row. Sal, Reynolds, Judge, Olsen, Stanton, Gallo would be it would be freaking insane, Sal. Freaking insane, man. You get Olsen and Reynolds and you add them to Judge and Stanton and these guys, no pitcher's gonna want to face that, man. It's really, yeah. Imagine a world where we sign Freeman, Correa, and Bryant. It's possible, big boy. If they pull up, they pull a 2009 again, where they got CC, Teixeira, and AJ Burnett. It has happened with the Yankees. So, that would be completely insane. But crazier things have happened. That's for damn sure. And obviously, they would be making trades to make room for these guys. But you know, unlikely to agree, but I can still see it. So that's the thing. Like, we don't know what the hell direction the Yankees are going to go, and one of the main reasons why is because we don't know what the new CBA is going to look like yet. It'll give us a better idea once it's agreed upon, and then we'll know like where the Yankees are, what their calculus is going to be. But I wouldn't be offended if all the three of those guys came here. I would not be offended at all. Nope, not even a little. Cashman trying to be clever, experiment. I hope it's over. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get you, Ludin. I totally get that, man. Time to flex. Absolutely, dude. It's time to be the evil empire right now. It's time to be the Yankees, man. Show that you mean business. Because right now, Steve Cohen from the Mets is cleaning their clock, man. Cleaning their clock. I'd be fine with Peraza if we made moves elsewhere. Yeah, no doubt. 100%, Ryan Beck. 100%. Having said that, I think we're going to get Correa and Peraza will be involved in a deal for either Olsen or Raul. That's my gut, too, Ryan. I do think he'll have to be moved for Olsen and a Reynolds. Or Reynolds. I really do. And which still gives obviously, if you're replacing Peraza with a Carlos Correa, something like that, then obviously you've upgraded. 1 year long relief option. Drew Smiley's another one. Yeah, it's a good one, actually. Smiley, Andrew Chafin. There's some guys out there who can still hold some value here. On the lefty side, too. Angel, pleasure, man. Always a pleasure. Have a great night. And I'll be wrapping up shortly as well. But thanks for coming on, man. Spending some time with us. Olsen seems more likely than Reynolds. I agree, Scott. I agree. Both would be phenomenal, but I am of the same opinion that Olsen is more likely than Reynolds. So he's not going to cost as much either. Gonna head up and have a great. Same thing, Daily Dose. Thanks as always for coming on, buddy. Have a great night, man. And hopefully I'll see you on Saturday night, dude. I don't know how serious they are Friday 777, but they're interested. But it sounds as if Boston has the edge for Seiya Suzuki. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, Contreras would take a few mid-level guys. We shouldn't stress it. Yeah, exactly, Ludin. The same. It's not going to cost a ton, most of Contreras. He has 1 year left, so has my shortstop take changed before? I thought you were always saying. I'm still predicting. I had initially predicted Story, but the way that things are moving now, there's more chatter about Correa. So, I still see if Oswald Peraza is not traded, then I can see him being a stopgap. And again, Story can come here and doesn't have to play shortstop. That's the other thing too. So I like Story because he plays multiple positions. But yeah, I initially predicted him to the Yankees. I'm still sticking with that until other things happen, because I do think that if he takes a 1 or 2 year deal at high annual value, it'll be with the Yankees. So, and I think with kind of the fire that the Yankees are under, I think that if they do sign a shortstop, it's probably going to be Correa at this point. But you're right. I did predict Story, and I predicted Correa to the Phillies in my initial predictions video. I hear. Oh man, Ryan and Ludin, you guys are great, man. Kyle Seager retired at 34. That's right, man. I guess it's a positive story. I hope not. D-Run. That would suck. Maybe he wants to join the PGA. He should take. Yeah, Harsh. Yeah, amen to that. Guys, Contreras or Kelly for catcher. Carson Kelly. I go with Carson Kelly. He's got more controllable years. I think he's a better option right now. Olsen, Suzuki, or Reynolds. Olsen definitely. Suzuki or Reynolds for center field. If you can get Suzuki, I'd probably go for Suzuki because you don't have to trade for him. You just sign him. And yeah, Correa or Story. At that point, if Olsen and Story, wonderful. Olsen, Correa, wonderful. Olsen, Reynolds, and Correa, absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. So, I mean, that would be freaking nuts. But I would love to be pleasantly surprised by Hal Steinbrenner. I think a lot of us would be. So Tanaka left at the worry. Yes, he did, man. Yes, he did. Contact hitters, 100%. 100%. 100%. Maz, I think our two most likely trade partners are Cincinnati and Oakland. Yeah, I agree. I mentioned Cincinnati and Oakland. My hope ones would be Pittsburgh and Oakland, but I don't know. I don't know what their appetite is to move Brian Reynolds. May pull a 3-team deal with 2 teams out of nowhere like Miami. I could see that too, Maz. I would love a 3-team trade. I really, really would, man. I really, really would. And Cashman tends to be good at those. So holding out hope for that. Holding it out. But we'll see. Peraza went on Patriots, the rare riders in one season. He's at AAA now. He's the one that's most major league ready, according to a lot of the people. Yeah, so I disagree with Cashman if he said he wasn't major league ready. Trades for pitchers, yep. Big boy, no doubt. Eddie Rosario, yeah, I mean, Rosario would be nice. He'd be solid here. He would be solid here. Yeah, me too, man. Brunson, I like that Murderers Row lineup too in 2022. It'd be freaking nuts. Reynolds and Olsen, yeah, to me, it's that right now is as good of an offseason as you could possibly get. Olsen and Brian Reynolds. And then, like, you sign Carlos Rodon. Oh, crazy. Absolutely crazy. Devers, yeah, I don't think Boston will move Devers to Boston. That would be nuts. Volpe, I think at the end of the day, I think Volpe will be ready to come up and start the season with the Yankees in 2023. Yeah, John Lester announced his retirement. I put out a video on that earlier as well. And the Yankees have also promoted the first female coach, the first female to manager in Major League Baseball or professional baseball history. So Rachel Balkovic, who I actually mentioned as a great option for the assistant hitting coach with the Yankees, was just promoted to the manager of the A-level Tampa Tarpons. And keep in mind, that's not insignificant because she's going to be managing Jason Dominguez, Trey Sweeney, and a bunch of those stud prospects. Those are going to be who the guys she's going to be managing. So, but I think it's a great opportunity for her. And I think it's well deserved. They're well deserved. Player comps for the Yankees top prospects like Volpe, Dominguez, comps. I'll say probably like Trey Turner, like Volpe. Dominguez, a little early right now. We're probably Dominguez. Who would I? Give me a second on Dominguez. Oswald Peraza, probably somebody like probably like a Trevor Story type, which is a little bit better glove. Luis Hill, one of those young Marlins pitchers. And Oswaldo Cabrera, probably like Willie Adams in Milwaukee. Those are probably my comps. Hirsch, yeah. Heck yeah. Didi, I mean, I thought it was great when he was here, Didi. I'm not sure a reunion would be good right now, but I always liked Didi when he was here. Arenado's a beast, D-Rod, no doubt. He's number one, I think, also at third base. King Ashman gets excited about the thought of getting guys. I do, but they generally don't show it. I mean, the way that we'd like for them to show it. That's for sure. He's so mild-mannered, Brian Cashman. So when they win championships and things like that, he celebrates with the best of them, though. He really does. Yeah, and Didi hasn't been the same. That's another reason why I would not pursue a Didi reunion. How many World Series do you think the Yankees would have won if Maddox signed with the Yankees instead of the Braves? Maybe one on the Dragon. Maybe one. I think things generally turned out the way they should have, when they were meant to turn out. But I'd say probably one with Maddox. Maybe, one would be my minimum. I mean, Maddox was a pitching god, man. And I think he would have been a great fit here. And he turned down the Yankees offer and signed with the Braves for less money, unfortunately. How many do you think? Volpe's fast, Ludin. Yeah, Volpe's got wheels, and he's got a great bat, and he's a clutch hitter. He's a good defensive player. Volpe's got it, man. Volpe's got it. Voit Torres, Luis Hill, Clark Schmidt, Oswaldo Cabrera for Olsen, and Montez, Dominguez, and Peraza for Brian Reynolds. Ooh. Voit Torres, Hill, Schmidt, Cabrera for Olsen and Frankie Montez. So they're giving up Oswaldo Cabrera. Torres. I would do the A's trade. Let's see. Dominguez and Peraza for Reynolds. I would do both trades. Yes. Jason Long, was a pleasure, brother. Thank you for coming on, man. I'm going to wrap up in like 2 minutes. Dream off-season trade for Reynolds, Olsen, and a pitcher. Sign Rodon. Sign Correa trade. I mean, that would be a monster off-season, Tyler. And again, it's doable. Honestly, it's doable. The Yankees have the resources to do it, but I don't think they have the balls to. And that's where but again, like, I know they want to make money, but there's nothing more profitable than winning a damn World Series in New York. They win the World Series here. They have the right guys. It's going to trickle out for years, man. And they'll put themselves in a great position to win multiple World Series if they bring some of these guys in. Like, if you have Reynolds and Olsen being building blocks, like, oh, man. Yeah. And if you have Correa there, I mean, they'd be set up to win several World Series over the next decade. So, that's the type of, personnel we want here, man. That's the type of personnel. The older he gets, I mean, Didi's solid, man. He's still solid, but I don't know if a reunion with the Yankees is the right move. Not over, something else. I mean, if they're going to do that, you might as well just bring up Oswald Peraza. Willie Adames, yeah, I mean, he would be a good fit. Cost him a lot to get him, but that's no surprise. He's good. Yankees believe in their top prospects. They promoted the minor league coaches, proves it. Yeah, I agree. And I think that, bringing in those types of coaches are going to help ease the transition of these type players in the major leagues and kind of, get a better offensive philosophy up in the Bronx too, which I think they need. So more patient, disciplined philosophy. Trade one. Yankees get Brian Reynolds and Jason. Pirates get Dominguez, Peraza, Medina, and Schmidt. World Series extra $57.20 million. No excuse. Get the players. Yeah, 100%. Tyler, I like it, man. I like it. Comes down to how many 30 per minute. Yeah, exactly, Peter. Exactly. Great point. Jose Peraza had 182 a couple years ago back with the Reds. Yeah. Trade for Eric Hinske. They are actually talking about Eric Hinske right now as one of the assistant, the other assistant hitting coach. They're talking about him right now as one of the options. So why can't we see the live set until the stream is over? I mean, watch the video again. Yeah, that's generally how it works with YouTube. I don't know. I don't understand, but you should be able to see it right now. I see everything. I see, myself obviously, and all the comments here, but it doesn't. I don't understand, and it takes a little while for YouTube to kind of transition and to play the whole thing again with the chat on the side. I don't understand why YouTube does that, but it does that. It's very strange. Junior B's in the house. Yankee signing Mike Trout. Yeah, yeah. Imagine. See, Max would be 4. So if you sign Correa, those guys are the only quick signs the Yankees get for the next 5 years. Yeah, it's good points, Peter. Trade 2. Yankees get Olsen and Montez for Torres, Voit, Herman, Davey, and Esteban Florial. I would, in a heartbeat, Tyler. Heartbeat. With the trade with the A's, absolute heartbeat, bro. Breaking news: Yankees signed Jacoby Ellsbury and Centerfield Insurance for 4 years. 100. Good one, Christopher. Good one. The 4: Correa, Judge, Stanton, Cole. That's a legit 4. That's a legit 4. Talking about Mark Trumbo. Yeah, they're talking about him too. Trumbo and Eric Hinske are the two names that I know right now and that are being considered. Joey Gallo was a beast. Yankees have to he was straight away. He was inconsistent, but when he had a stretch of like unhittable, of being unstoppable, but it wasn't that long of a stretch. He needs a full season here. He really does. Trade Olsen, an ace starter. Sign Correa, Rodon, trade for Contreras, and trade for Reynolds. Hal, wake up. It's possible. All that stuff is possible. If Garner comes back, I'm taking the year for. Yeah, I know. I think I would go personally with Esteban Flores over Gardner at fourth outfielder. That's just me though. So Gallo was a. It's either home run or strikeout or walk with Joey Gallo. Everybody knows that, but it's all good. Andrew Benintendi's the one I think is an appealing option from Kansas City. He's a good-looking player, Peter. He's a good-looking player. No. Gallagher. Yeah, he did. So did Odor. I mean, it took Gallo a little while to find his way, but totally understandable. Trade through Yankees, Willie Contreras and Hendricks for Alexander Vargas, Brandon Lockridge, Gomes. Contreras. I'd probably do that one too, Tyler. Probably do that one too. Void to the D-backs in a Gallen trade. That's appealing to me, Richard Suchi. That's appealing. The perfect guy with the no name. Yeah, I agree. Florial over Gardner. Yeah, I'm of the same opinion. I'm not sure if Bauer's going to fit this year. I'm honestly 50-50 Friday 777. He did exercise his player option with the Dodgers, but I think they're going to wait until find out what happens with this guy, whether he's going to get charged or indicted or whatever else. And if he turns out to be clean, then obviously I think they're going to utilize him. If not, I wouldn't be surprised if they released him just to avoid the headache. So, and we'll see. Trade for Clint Frazier and Tyler Wade. Yeah. Yeah, Scott. Joey Gallo's a lot more power. Yeah, and the bottom third of the lineup would be perfect for Joey Gallo. He doesn't have to have the pressure of being the guy. So, yes. Jesse Winker and Max Kepler. Yeah, both of them are interesting. Winker especially. I avoid Trevor Bauer at all costs right now. I avoid Trevor Bauer. Struck out 1 million 2 times. Yeah, Matt Kemp. Now you're just trying to be silly. Gallen won't look good in Texas because the Rangers suck, but it's just true too. Bauer to the Angels, eh? Wherever Bauer goes, he goes. If he stays in LA, he stays in LA. But if as long as he doesn't come to the Bronx, But I'm going to wrap this up, guys. I want to thank you guys for coming on, and I hope I see you all on Saturday night. Have a great week. If you haven't hit that like button, please hit that like button. I greatly appreciate it. And once this lockout's over, man, we're gonna have a boatload of people in here like we did before. So I'm really looking forward to it. And things are down. Things are down right now in baseball world. Obviously, there's a lot less interest in baseball because of the lockout, and it's even affecting content creators from YouTube. Like our views are down and whatnot. But that's okay. That's okay. I definitely want to keep you guys and gals informed on what's going on. So I think it's important because it keeps us engaged in baseball one way or another. But I appreciate all you for coming on. Thank you as always. Have a great week. Peace and love to you guys. I'll see you on Saturday. Over and out.